Welcome to the Deep Dive. It's December 4th, 2024, and we're diving into the most impactful AI developments of the past week. Think of this as your cheat sheet for staying ahead of the curve.
It's remarkable how quickly this field is moving. Every week it seems like there are breakthroughs that could change everything.
It really does feel that way.
Yeah.
We've got news from the big names like Amazon, Microsoft, OpenAI, but also some things happening under the radar that could really shake things up. So to keep things organized, we'll break our deep dive into 3 sections: business, product, and technology.
That structure will help us connect the dots, from research all the way to the products we use every day.
Absolutely. So let's kick things off with the business of AI. Amazon made some big moves recently with some announcements that seem like they're directly challenging some of the big players in AI.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? They're not just dipping their toes in the water, they're going all in. They just announced 6 new generative AI models. They're calling this whole suite Nova.
And what's really cool about Nova is that it's multimodal. So it's not just text generation. You can use it for images, videos, and having one platform that can do all that, that could be a game changer for businesses.
Oh, absolutely. For companies looking to integrate AI into what they do, having one platform would really simplify things. Think about marketing, for example. You could generate all of your content from one AI platform. That's huge.
Huge. But Amazon's not stopping there. They're also releasing a specialized AI chip, Trainium 2, which they claim is going to be much more cost-effective and energy-efficient than the GPUs that are kind of the industry standard right now.
What I find interesting here is that Amazon seems to want to control the whole AI ecosystem. So they're offering the software and the hardware, trying to become the one-stop shop for AI for businesses.
So if they can really deliver on that promise of cost-effectiveness and accessibility, I mean, this could really shake up the AI landscape.
Yeah.
What do you think this means for companies that are already using AI, especially the ones that are really tied to specific hardware providers?
I think it could lead to some disruption. More competition is usually a good thing. It usually means lower prices, maybe more innovation. But for companies that are already using a particular system, it could mean they have to take a look at their whole AI setup. They're going to have to be ready to adapt.
That makes sense. The AI world never sits still for very long. Speaking of fast-moving developments, venture capital is pouring into AI cybersecurity startups, over $2.6 billion this year alone.
And it's easy to see why. As we depend more and more on technology, the risks keep increasing. Businesses are looking to AI for answers to these cybersecurity challenges. They need something that can keep up with the bad guys.
Like the startup Sierra, for example. They just got another $300 million in funding. And this is on top of the $300 million they raised just a few months ago. So clearly investors believe in their AI-powered data security platform.
I think it shows how urgent cybersecurity is for businesses in the age of AI. But all this investment also makes you wonder about what happens next. Will these AI solutions make us safer, or will they actually create new vulnerabilities we hadn't thought of?
It's a big question, and one we need to follow closely as these technologies develop.
Yeah.
Now let's switch gears a bit and talk about something that's changing the world of search. Perplexity AI.
Perplexity AI is a really fascinating example of how AI is changing how we find information. It's a search engine that actually tries to understand what you mean when you type something in. It goes beyond simple keyword matching.
I've been playing around with it, and it's pretty impressive. You don't get a page full of links. You get clear, concise answers that are pulled directly from relevant sources. It's like having a research assistant right in your pocket.
What's really interesting to me is that Perplexity's success is because of a shift in how people are using search. People don't just want information anymore. They want quick, accurate answers that are easy to understand. Perplexity does that really well.
So do you think this is a serious challenge to Google's dominance?
Well, Google's still the king, of course, but Perplexity's growing so quickly, it shows that people are looking for different ways to search. It will be interesting to see how Google responds to that.
It will. Okay, let's turn our attention to Microsoft. They're making some big moves in AI as well. They're building their AI health team, recruiting some serious talent from DeepMind, the folks behind AlphaGo.
This suggests that Microsoft is really serious about developing consumer health apps that are powered by AI. They seem to be aiming at apps that don't just give you general health info, but actually give you personalized advice based on your situation.
That sounds promising, but can they avoid the privacy and ethical concerns that always come up with health data, especially when you add AI to the mix? I mean, we've seen some issues with similar initiatives in the past.
You're right to bring that up. Health data is sensitive, and there are legitimate concerns about how it's used, especially when big tech companies are involved. Microsoft's going to have to be transparent and show a real commitment to protecting user privacy if they want people to trust them.
Absolutely. Now for our second section, let's talk product. One of the biggest things in AI product releases lately has been OpenAI's Sora, their AI video generator. They've just made it accessible to millions of users. That's a huge deal.
It's a big deal, for sure. Sora makes it possible for practically anyone to create AI-generated videos, and that's something we haven't really seen before. Think about it. Anyone with a ChatGPT Plus or Pro subscription can create photorealistic videos just by typing in what they want.
It's powerful, but it also raises some important questions. What does this mean for creative industries? Will it lead to job losses? And what about misuse, like creating deepfakes for spreading misinformation?
Those are all valid concerns. OpenAI knows about these risks, and they've put in place content moderation policies and some technical safeguards to try to prevent those things from happening. But as this technology gets better and more people use it, the challenges are only going to get bigger. We need to keep talking about responsible use and the ethical implications.
I agree. It's a balance. You have innovation on one side and responsibility on the other. Now for something a bit more positive, let's look at how AI is helping to break down language barriers. YouTube is expanding its AI auto-dubbing feature to thousands of creators who make educational content.
This is a fantastic development in terms of making knowledge accessible to people all over the world. Imagine learning about science from experts around the world, all in your own language.
It sounds amazing. But how good is AI translation these days? I've seen some pretty funny auto-generated subtitles that completely miss the point.
AI translation has improved a lot, but it's still not perfect. There are nuances, cultural context, things that can get lost in translation. But YouTube's working to make its auto-dubbing better, and it's already making a big difference in how far educational content can reach.
It's good to hear they're being cautious with it. Now let's go back to Microsoft for a minute. It seems they're really doubling down on AI for healthcare. They're building a dedicated AI health team, and they've put Mustafa Suleyman, a co-founder of DeepMind, in charge.
What's interesting is that they're bringing in top people from DeepMind, people with deep AI knowledge and medical backgrounds. So it looks like they're serious about combining cutting-edge technology with real-world medical expertise.
It's a powerful combination. What kind of consumer health applications are they focusing on?
Their main focus seems to be generative AI for health. They want to build tools that can answer your health questions, give you information about specific conditions and symptoms, maybe even offer mental health support. Basically, they want to create a resource that anyone can use to get health information from an AI.
I can see how that would be useful, especially since it can be so overwhelming to try to find reliable health information online. But again, the question of privacy comes up. Can they avoid the problems other AI health initiatives have run into?
We'll have to wait and see. Microsoft says they're committed to responsible AI and putting data privacy first, but they'll have to be transparent about how they handle data and really prove they're committed to user privacy if they want people to trust them with their health information.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, we've covered a lot so far, from Amazon's big moves to the incredible potential of OpenAI's Sora and the ethical challenges of AI in healthcare. Are you ready to jump into the technology side of AI?
Absolutely. This is where we get to see the cutting edge, what's pushing the limits of what AI can do. Let's start with something pretty amazing, a revolution in climate modeling. Researchers have built an AI model called spherical diffusion. It can generate 100 years of climate projections in just 25 hours.
Wait, 25 hours? That's incredible. Current methods take much longer than that. How's that kind of speed even possible?
It's a real testament to the power of generative AI, especially when you combine it with real-world physics data. So instead of just crunching numbers, this model is making predictions based on a real understanding of climate patterns.
That's amazing. What kind of impact could this have on climate research and policy? Could it help us make better decisions and maybe even react faster to climate change?
I think the potential is huge. Imagine having these long-term climate projections that you can generate really quickly. It could change how we understand climate change, allow researchers to model all kinds of scenarios, test different solutions, and ultimately make more informed decisions about how to deal with climate change.
And this is where things get really interesting. The race to create AGI, artificial general intelligence, is heating up. And some experts believe we're just a few years away from achieving it.
Yeah, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, even said that he thinks superintelligence might be here in a few thousand days. That's a pretty bold statement, but it shows how fast AI is developing.
Few thousand days. Yeah, that's not very far off. It makes you think, can we really trust private companies to develop this kind of powerful technology safely? And what role should academia and governments play in all this?
Those are really important questions. AGI has huge potential benefits, but also huge risks. Making sure AGI is developed ethically and safely with input from a lot of different experts is essential. We need a framework that makes safety and transparency top priorities and ensures that AGI aligns with human values.
Definitely. Now let's talk about another cool development in the world of search. Cohere has released a new model called Re-Rank 3.5. What's special about it is that it can understand the context of your query, not just the keywords, and it works in over 100 languages.
And that's a big deal. Cohere wants to make enterprise search as easy to use as Google, and that could have a huge impact on businesses that depend on being able to find information quickly.
Imagine a future where language isn't a barrier to collaboration and sharing knowledge around the world. That has huge implications for research, education, international business.
Exactly. It's really exciting to think about the potential for breaking down those barriers and making global connection easier. And speaking of breaking down barriers, Amazon is adding some impressive new features to Bedrock, their platform for building AI apps.
What kind of features are we talking about? What makes these updates so significant?
Well, imagine being able to analyze text, images, audio, and video all at the same time. That's what Bedrock can do now. This kind of analysis could really speed up how we develop AI applications across a bunch of different industries.
That's a big step toward making AI easier to use and more accessible for businesses of all sizes. But even with all this progress, it's important to remember that AI is still under scrutiny. Regulators are starting to crack down on companies that make misleading claims about their AI products, especially about things like accuracy and bias.
This is a good thing. It's important to make sure that AI is being developed and used responsibly. We need clear guidelines and standards, and AI companies need to be honest and put ethical considerations first. They need to be held accountable for the promises they make and make sure their products are being developed ethically.
Absolutely. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive from the business side of things, with Amazon's AI push to the potential of AI-powered climate modeling and the ethical challenges of AGI.
As you can see, these developments are happening across the entire AI landscape, from research labs to the products we use every day. It's a really exciting time to be following this field, but it's also a time to be thoughtful and ask the right questions.
We need to keep asking those tough questions about the impact of these technologies. That's what we're trying to do here on the Deep Dive. We want to give you the information and insights you need to make sense of this fast-changing world.
Because knowing what's happening is powerful, understanding these developments is crucial for making good decisions. Whether you're a business leader or just someone who's interested in the future, you need to know this stuff.
I couldn't have said it better myself. We'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll continue exploring the most impactful AI developments of the week.
Welcome back to part 2 of our deep dive into the biggest AI developments of the week.
We've already covered so much, from Amazon's AI plans to OpenAI's Sora, but there's still a lot to talk about.
And as we get into it, we're going to see not just the amazing potential of all this, but also the challenges and the opportunities that come with it.
Before we jump back in, I think it's worth mentioning that AI is facing more scrutiny from regulators these days.
It is, yeah. We've seen a few cases recently where companies like Pieces Technologies and Intellivision Technologies have been called out for making claims about their AI products that weren't really true, things about accuracy and bias.
These actions are a reminder that as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives, being responsible and transparent is crucial.
Absolutely. We need clear rules and standards, and companies need to make sure they're considering the ethics of what they're doing.
It's a balancing act, right? You want to push the boundaries of technology, but you also have to make sure you're doing it the right way.
Exactly. And speaking of doing things the right way, one of the big concerns with AI is how it will impact jobs. Automation has been a hot topic for years, and AI is just speeding things up.
It is. Some experts are predicting a lot of jobs will be lost, while others think it will create new opportunities.
It's complicated. There's no easy answer. What do you think? How will AI change work?
I think it's less about jobs disappearing completely and more about jobs changing. Some tasks will definitely be automated, but that will also create new roles that require AI skills. We'll need people who can build, train, and manage these AI systems, and people who can understand and use the information they produce.
So it's about adapting, both for individuals and for businesses.
Exactly. People will need to learn new skills and be willing to keep learning throughout their careers. And companies need to invest in training to help their employees make that transition.
Sounds like AI is going to cause a big shift in the job market. We're going to have to rethink how we approach education and job training.
We are. And speaking of education, that's another area where AI could make a huge difference. We could see personalized learning platforms, AI tutors, all sorts of things.
Imagine every student having a learning experience that's tailored just for them based on their individual needs.
It would be amazing. But what about teachers? Do you think they'll become obsolete in a world of AI education?
I don't think so. AI can definitely make learning better, but it can't replace that human connection you get from a teacher. Teachers are important for things like creativity, critical thinking, social skills, and those are all things that are still important for success.
So it's more about collaboration.
Right. AI can help teachers do their jobs better by personalizing instruction, tracking how students are doing, creating more engaging lessons. It can free up their time so they can focus on the things that really matter.
It sounds like AI has the potential to make education more fair and effective for everyone.
Exactly. And AI's influence goes way beyond the classroom. Let's talk about another exciting area that's being transformed by AI, robotics.
I'm thinking self-driving cars, warehouse robots, all kinds of things. AI is driving a whole new generation of machines that are changing how we live and work.
Robotics is really ready for AI. By combining AI's ability to think with a robot's ability to do physical things, we can create machines that can do things we never thought possible.
Like surgery.
Exactly. AI-powered surgical robots are already being used. They allow surgeons to do really complex procedures with more precision and less invasiveness. And as AI gets better, we can expect to see even more advanced robots, helping with things like elder care, disaster relief.
So many possibilities. It's amazing to think about all the ways AI could improve our lives. But of course, with any powerful technology, there are risks and ethical concerns we need to address.
We need to think about what it means to give machines more autonomy, more power to make decisions. We need to make sure these technologies are developed and used for the good of everyone, not just a select few.
We need to be proactive, shape the future of AI, instead of just reacting to whatever happens.
Absolutely. That's why it's so important to have conversations like this. We need to be informed, ask the hard questions, figure out how to use AI for good, and avoid the potential risks.
This second part of our deep dive has really shown how far AI reaches and how it's affecting so many different aspects of our lives.
And as AI keeps developing at such a rapid pace, we can expect even bigger changes in the years to come.
It's an exciting time to be watching this AI revolution unfold, but it's also a time for reflection, for really thinking about what it all means.
We need to keep asking ourselves the tough questions about the ethical, societal, and economic implications of AI.
We can't just sit back and watch. We need to actively shape the future of AI, make sure it aligns with our values and what we want for the future.
And that's what we're trying to do here on the Deep Dive. We want to give you the information and insights you need so you can be part of this important conversation.
You know, before we move on to the last part of our deep dive, I want to say that it can feel a bit overwhelming, all this AI stuff. There's so much happening, so much to keep up with.
You're right, it can be a lot. But that's why we're here. We want to break down these complicated topics, make it easier to understand, give you a roadmap for navigating this ever-changing world.
And remember, if you're thinking about how AI can help your business, Shulpak AI Technology Consulting can help you figure it out.
They know this stuff inside and out. They can help you find the right AI solutions, understand the ethics involved, and implement these technologies in a way that's effective and responsible.
So don't be afraid to reach out to them if you need help harnessing the power of AI for your business.
And while you're at it, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the amazing world of AI.
We'll be back soon with the final part of this episode, where we'll wrap up our discussion and explore some of the big questions that AI raises about the future.
Until then, keep exploring and keep asking questions. The world of AI is full of possibilities.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So as we wrap up our exploration of the world's most impactful AI developments, I think it's time to zoom out a little bit and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, absolutely. We've gone through the business world, we've seen some game-changing product releases, and we've talked about the cutting-edge tech that's driving this AI revolution.
Right. And now I think it's time to tackle some of the deeper questions AI brings up, the questions that really make us think about what all this means for our future.
I agree. Like that issue we touched on earlier, the potential for AI automation to replace jobs.
That's definitely a big one. It's something that a lot of people are worried about. How do we prepare people for this changing world of work? How do we make sure no one gets left behind?
It's going to take a multi-pronged approach. For one thing, we need to invest in education and retraining programs that give people the skills they need to succeed in this new landscape, in an AI-powered world. And I'm not just talking about technical skill.
Right.
We need programs that focus on adaptability, critical thinking, creative problem solving.
Those are the skills that are going to be crucial. Those are the things that are hard for AI to replicate, at least for now. And they're going to be essential if you want to navigate this job market that's changing all the time. It's not just about learning a specific skill. It's about learning how to learn.
Exactly. And this isn't just about individuals. It's also on companies and governments to step up. They need to provide the resources and support that workers need to learn new skills and transition into these new roles.
It's a group effort. It's going to take all of us working together.
Yeah.
Individuals, organizations, and policymakers. And another big question we have to deal with is, how do we make sure that AI is developed and used ethically? We've already seen examples of bias creeping into algorithms.
Yeah, we have, unfortunately. And that just shows how important it is to build ethical considerations into every single step of the AI development process. We have to be on the lookout for bias.
Exactly.
We have to be able to identify and address it. And we have to make sure that these technologies are helping everyone.
Transparency is key. We need to know how these algorithms are made, what data they're trained on, and what kinds of biases might be in there. If we don't know that, how can we hold the developers accountable? How can we push for fairer outcomes?
And it goes beyond just recognizing bias. We need to design AI systems that are fair, inclusive, and accountable from the ground up. That means involving diverse voices, thinking about the bigger impact these technologies will have on society, and putting safeguards in place so we can deal with unintended consequences.
We also need to have honest conversations about the broader impact AI will have on society. What does it mean for our privacy, for our security, even for how we define what it means to be human?
Big questions. Those are the kinds of questions that philosophers, ethicists, policymakers, and tech people need to be talking about together.
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
There aren't any easy answers here.
No.
And the implications are massive.
But we can all agree on one thing. We can't just sit back and watch AI shape our future without any input from us. We need to be steering the ship, making sure it's going in a direction that aligns with our values and what we want the future to look like.
That's really what it comes down to. We're creating the future of AI. Every decision we make shapes it.
Exactly. So it's our responsibility to stay informed, to get involved, and to think critically about these developments. We need to be actively shaping the future of AI and making sure it's serving humanity.
We hope that this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the insights you need to navigate this world of AI.
It is changing quickly.
It is changing quickly, yeah. But remember, the first step is understanding it. Once you understand these advancements, you can start to think about how to use them for good, to create a future where AI benefits all of us. And if you're thinking about how AI can help your business, you might want to check out Shellbook AI Technology Consulting. They can help you figure out this whole landscape and find the right AI solutions for your specific needs.
They really know their stuff. And they can help you implement these technologies in a way that's both effective and responsible. So don't be afraid to reach out to them if you need some guidance.
And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the fascinating world of AI. We're here to help you stay ahead of the curve and understand this transformative technology. So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI. The future is ours to make.